Hi, and welcome back to Trying to with Leah. Today, I am introducing you to Molly Wobbles. This is Molly. She is Luna's little sister. So we got Molly. We got Molly about a week ago. So she is almost 7 weeks old now. I apologize for the meowing straight into the microphone. But I did want to show her off. She is very camera shy, but let's see if we can get a little bit of a closer view for you before Miss Molly Wobbles goes and takes her nap. There she is. Show them how pretty you are. Can you look up? Look up. Up here, girly. Up here. Up here. Okay, well, that was productive. So clearly, Luna is ecstatic to have a little sister. So much so that she spent the first 3 days, I think, protesting on our living room table, as well as retreating to the garage, which she normally does not do. So she just let everybody know as they walked by that she was ticked. And as is her right, we brought a new kitten into the family. So we got to deal with the consequences of Luna being ticked for a little while. I did not really understand that cats are a lot like flat out mean girls whenever they meet. I just kind of, when I got home with, Molly, I just kind of put her in the carrier, brought her all the way back to the bedroom and let her out in there, just kind of kept her confined to one room and let her roam around. And I guess that was disrespectful towards Luna because Luna feels like this whole house is hers. So she was very upset for the first few days, but we are getting much better. Over this past week, she has done really well with scent swapping. She has done very well with the introductions that we have done. We did let Molly out of the carrier around Luna as well. And although there was some tension, Molly did very well. There was no violence. So that's a great start. So over the next, week or hopefully a week, but over the next couple of weeks, we will keep introducing Molly and Luna more and more until they get used to each other and accept their fate as sisters. So very excited for that, but we will see exactly how that goes, and I will keep you posted along the way because I love my girls. So if you know me or have known me, you know that all my life I have had an allergy to cats. So why do I have 2 cats, are you asking? Well, to begin with, I had a cat a long time ago in my early 20s, and it was a black cat, and I had no issues with allergies at all with that cat. I was able to snuggle with it and all of that stuff, and never had any issues. But unfortunately, that has not been the case with every other cat that I have ever been around in my life, for the most part. So when I decided to go after my crazy dream to have another cat, at this stage in my life, I convinced my husband and we got Luna. And I was so fortunate because I didn't have any allergies with Luna either. She gave me no issues whatsoever. And it's been wonderful. But of course, that has not been the case with every cat, like I've said. And so when we brought Molly home, I have had a little bit of allergies. So that has been fun, but I will take medicine for the things that I love. So I will take medicine for the rest of my life if I have to, in order to have my little Molly Wobbles. And that's okay with me. And hopefully as she gets older, that changes and maybe things change, but we'll see. Today, I really wanted to talk about something that came up for me over Thanksgiving. And of course, we were celebrating with our family just like everybody else. And um, our family does not have the tradition of going around and saying what you're thankful for. We have done that in the past, but we don't have the yearly tradition of doing that on either side of our family. But each year, I like to try to make a point to at least spend part of Thanksgiving Day thinking about what I am thankful for, especially from this past year. So, of course, with me starting this YouTube channel, with me leaving the healthcare profession to follow my dreams, I have a heck of a lot to be thankful for. Even in times of uncertainty, even in times of having to make these dollars stretch just to keep living this lifestyle and keep living this dream of mine. I am extremely thankful for everything that this past year has brought to me, everything that I have been through, and everything that I am becoming because of it. So, I'm actually really thankful for my entire life and my entire life experiences because it's led me here. And I know a lot of people look back on their lives and they can't really focus on being thankful for certain things, but the way I view things is even the worst things that I've been through have given me a reason to be thankful because they've led me to where I am. So one of the biggest things that I am thankful for, especially this year, is the ability to have found my peace. True, authentic, actual peace, and it's peace that has lasted. So I have spent most of my life up until this past year, actually, basically functioning out of a state of anxiety. 99.9% of the time, I literally felt anxious about something. And it was usually mixed with worry and fear and, self-doubt and self-consciousness and things like that. So getting to a state where I'm actually functioning from a peaceful mindset, I feel peace in my body. I still feel anxiety from time to time, but it is not my baseline anymore. And that is life-changing for me because I can actually function. But a lot of people really honestly don't know what peace feels like. And I was one of those people. I really didn't understand what true peace felt like. I had felt brief glimpse moments of it, I guess you would say, throughout my lifetime, especially when I had been on mission trips and was away from reality for the most part, away from my reality, away from my phone and my friends and, the drama that was going on and all of that stuff. So it was at those points in times that I could actually find peace. And it's usually, sitting by a lake or in the mountains or on a hike, those kind of things that I would find true peace, where you could just sit in the silence for a moment and really reflect on things and really appreciate the beauty around you, appreciate the moment that you're in and everything that it's taken to get here. And it's really life-changing to be able to access that peace anytime I want. And that's what I've done. I was able to build that peace for myself, especially with walking. I know I talk about walking all the time, but it really was life-changing for me because it kind of changed from I'm doing this for my health to I'm doing this for myself because I love myself, to I'm doing this because it feels good now. And now I'm doing this because I can't imagine doing it any other way. Really. And now I want to tell people about it because it is that inspiring for me. It really is. Not only do you feel more powerful and more emboldened by being able to take control of something in your life and being able to have that control, being able to push yourself, seeing that strength growing within yourself every single time you go on a walk, feeling your legs hurt a little bit less each day, feeling that muscle build up, feeling stronger, and being able to tune out the noise, being able to just completely block out anything else that is around you at that point in time. That's where you find that true peace. I can call myself back to that moment of silence in the mountains near that beautiful lake where I can just sit there for a minute in my mind and go, okay, this is my peace. And I do that every single morning. As I'm taking a walk, I find my peace. And that peace stays with me throughout the day. So anything that I experience afterward, I'm viewing it from a peaceful place. I'm viewing it from a peaceful mindset. So I'm not automatically going, oh, this is, what kind of chaos is this going to bring to me? What do I need to worry about because of this or that? It's a lot easier when you're functioning from peace and going, okay, well, this just happened. So how does this truly affect me? And is there something that I can do about that? Can I control how it affects me? Absolutely. I can. I can control how things affect my mindset for sure. I can control whether or not I hang on to that piece or whether or not I let that experience give me all kinds of anxiety. And it was hard for a long time battling that anxiety away because it is a battle. You do have to fight it off. So finding your peace can be easy if you have the right setting. Of course, it's super easy if you want to go to the lake and just sit there for a while by the water on a beautiful day. That's probably the easiest way to find peace. But in the midst of chaos, in the midst of life, in the midst of all kinds of different things, finding your peace and maintaining that peace can be extremely difficult, especially if you're not used to functioning out of a state of peace at all. So sometimes life gives us pathways that we can choose to take if we want to, or we can choose to go the exact route that we have always gone. It's kind of like, are you going to take the road less traveled by? Because it will make all the difference. I have a short video for you that kind of explains a little bit of what life has thrown at me recently.
Sometimes life gives you a path that looks a whole lot like a washout, a really big washout. And you're thinking, is there anything good in this for me? But if you follow the path enough and try and go along with optimism and hope, it may turn out that washout is not a washout at all. It's actually a trail that leads to somewhere unexpected and even more beautiful than you could have ever imagined.
Hopefully this channel is inspiring for you. Please let me know if it is. That is the whole point of this, is to be inspiring, to hopefully get you thinking about your own life, get you thinking about how you can take care of yourself better, how you can find your own peace, how you can look at situations not as how bad can this be for me, but what good can come out of this instead, because that's what life is all about. If you have that perspective, you get a benefit out of things. I fully believe that, if something happens, you can choose to take the negative effect from it, or you can choose to take a positive effect from it. So, for example, last episode, I talked about my miscarriage that I had and how eventually I had gotten pregnant with my son and was told that that was a miscarriage as well, and was able to have a successful pregnancy because he was okay. So that whole experience, that first miscarriage, especially, I had the opportunity to go one of two ways. I could take a positive effect from it or a negative effect from it. Of course, with something so traumatic and so emotional and difficult to deal with, it is hard to take a positive effect from it at the time. It is extremely hard to take any kind of positive effect whatsoever from having a miscarriage. You have lost a child, and that is extremely difficult to deal with. But what I have found is with even those extremely difficult experiences where you cannot see a single positive effect at all from it, no positive benefit whatsoever from you experiencing that, what you're lacking there is time. Time will give you that positive effect or benefit from it. Just as I have seen with my own son, having that second scare of another miscarriage and then having my son be born healthy and having my rainbow baby after all, that was a positive effect that I had gotten out of it because I chose to try again. I chose to allow this to be part of my story, but to keep trying. And you know what? Even if that story had gone completely differently, let's say that I couldn't have my own children at all. Well, that is a devastating story for sure. And it seems like there's nothing positive to be made out of that. It seems like there's no benefit for me to be made out of that whatsoever. But that could be part of my story to where I make a positive benefit by allowing myself to be an adoptive mother instead, and to choose that child, to be able to go, okay, I'm going to give you a stable home. And though I can't have children of my own, I can be a darn good foster mother. I can be an extremely good adoptive mother, So it is what you make it. Your life story is what you make it. And those traumas that you have, those horrible experiences that you have, if you can't see the benefit of it to begin with, give it some time. And further along in your life, you will see some kind of benefit from it eventually. Even if you have struggled with addiction, that can be, you turn around and you become a sponsor. I've seen that with somebody that's very near and dear to me as well. And there's lots of things that you can do with your life. You can take that bad and turn it into good. So I encourage you to take a look at your own life, take a look at the bad that has happened to you. And is there something that you can do with it? If you have not gotten a positive benefit out of it so far, is there something that you could do with that to give yourself a positive benefit or to benefit others so that they don't ever have to go through what you had to go through? You can make an impact on the world by sharing your story. And I think that's why the internet is so powerful. I think that's why doing this and having this YouTube channel is so powerful and so important. It is a way for people to share their own stories and learn from one another and grow together. So, another thing that I have gotten over that I am extremely thankful for is my self doubt and self consciousness. So, as we talk about things that make us self conscious, I wanted to share a quick story about something that made me self conscious as a kid, and that was my smile. For a very long time, I had braces, and when I did not have braces, I was missing teeth constantly. Which you say, oh, every kid goes through that. Well, no, this is a little bit different than most kids. But so I was pretty young, still had baby teeth, and my parents were taking me in for regular checkups at the orthodontist. And for some reason, the orthodontics community at that point in time had decided that it would be a good idea to try out putting braces on baby teeth. And the reasoning behind this was that they thought, well, maybe if we straighten the baby teeth and we take the braces off and then you lose your baby teeth, maybe your adult teeth will grow in straight. That was not the case at all. So I had braces on my baby teeth for about a year, I think, maybe a year and a half or something like that. And of course, they took them off with the hopes, okay, she's going to lose her baby teeth pretty soon. So I had beautiful, straight baby teeth. And then I proceeded to not lose my baby teeth at all. They were fixed in there. So the orthodontist decided, well, we're going to have to pull them all. So we're just going to pull 4 at a time. So we'll take 2 on the top, 2 on the bottom, 4 at a time till they're all gone. So for the next, I think it was 2 years or so, I am flooded with memories of missing teeth all over the place, not being able to eat half the time because I was sore. It was great. But yeah, and then of course, once all of my adult teeth grew in, they were not straight. So slapped braces back on me for another 4 years. So it was almost 6 years that I had braces on. So I love it when people tell me that I have a beautiful smile now, because I'm like, blood, sweat, and tears paid for this smile, like literally. I think most of us over the years have had countless people talk about us behind our back, even say things to our face that are meant to make us feel less than, to make us feel inferior. And, you have the option of feeding into that, allowing that to control the way that you think about yourself and adopting that as part of who you are. I used to do that all the time. I would hear from people that I was too loud, that I talked too much, and I would literally try to talk less, try to be quieter when I spoke. I tried to, dim myself. The only person that goes through your entire life with you is you. Nobody else goes through your entire life with you. So why should you base what your life becomes on what other people think and what other people say and what other people, expect of you? It should be about what you want for yourself, simply because you're the only one that gets to live this life. You're the one that has to live the life that you create. So what kind of life are you going to create? Are you going to allow yourself to just continue in the life that you're in? Are you going to take a look at your life and say, hey, these are the things that I can change. These are the things that I have control over, that I can make changes on to get me closer to where I truly want to be. So for a lot of us, I know we get home, we are tired, and one of the main things that we do is we turn on the TV and we turn on, we watch videos on our phone, we get on social media, we do all of these different things. And while I am literally on a social media channel trying to talk to people and wanting them to watch my videos, even at the same time, I am a big advocate of shutting off the electronics around me to focus on being present in the moment and being able to live my life in the moment. That was something that I did not pay much attention to for most of my life, especially, I grew up in the first generation really of the phones. And I got my first phone, I think when I was 15. And my 8-year-old son has a phone. So it's a completely different generation. And the first phone that I had was, one of those that had the antenna that you had to pull it out. So I'm that old. Yes. But, um, I lived a life before the time of phones, and it was more fun. It was honestly a lot more fun to be around your friends and just to hang out, and not everybody's on their phone. Not everybody's, oh, look at this video. Oh, look at this. What's going on here? We were actually living life. We were actually doing things, going places, hanging out with each other, and being present in the moment with each other instead of off in our own heads all the time, which I have found is a constant when I'm watching TV or when I am looking at videos on my phone, things like that. I am up in my head. I am not paying attention to what's going on around me. So I'm basically ignoring my surroundings, ignoring what's happening around me because I'm focused on what's in front of me on my phone or on the TV. And that is a great way to let your life pass you by. So if you recognize that you may have an issue like I did with too much screen time, you can be your own parent and cut yourself off and go, okay, instead of sitting here and watching 2 more episodes of Stranger Things, I am going to go to the park. I am going to go to that antique store down the street that I've always wanted to go to. I am going to take that 30-minute bath. I am going to go get a massage. I am going to, whatever the case may be, fill in the blank for yourself. But take those times for yourself to be present in the moment, be present with the people around you, especially the people you care about the most. And if you have to parent yourself, do it. It's not a bad thing. It's not something you should be ashamed of at all. I parent myself all the time. And it's usually, no, you do not need a piece of cake. No, you do not need that. You do not need a Snickers bar at 2 o'clock in the morning when your body is like, hey, there's Snickers up in that cabinet up there. No. So whatever, that's me. Anyway, I genuinely hope that people are being helped by this. I know I say that constantly, and I'm going to keep saying it because I want to make a difference. So when I see that I'm making a difference, I'll stop saying it. Shrinking myself down for this. Okay. So, yes, she is super excited to have a little sister. Don't look at me like that.